All right, chapter blah, blah, blah of the Tale of Two Realtors. This is called Controllables versus Can't Trollables. Control the controllables and let go of the can't trollables. First chapter, probabilities versus possibilities. Universe versus universe. And selling versus selling. All right, controllables. Controllables versus can't trollables. Control the controllables and let go of the controllables. Probabilities versus possibilities. In real estate, the wider you go, the less you can control. So keep it tight, in my opinion. That's why we like to think of the hyper-local, hyper-focused. The tighter you keep your knowledge base, the tighter you keep your area, the less you'll have to worry about things being out of your control. Local market. You can control how much knowledge you have. You can't control the inventory. You can control your reputation. You can't control who brings an offer on your listings. We can control our process, how we approve buyers, but we can't control if that buyer loses his job. That's out of our control. In the energy part, universe versus universe, universe versus universe. This is all about how we control our energy. We control our energy. We can't control whether we're going to have haters or underestimators, or if there's going to be drama, but we can control how we react to it. We can either give it no energy at all, just discount it, or we can use our haters and underestimators in this situation as fuel. So you can't control what people say, but you can control how you use it. You can't control if there's going to be drama, but you can give it no weight. And when it comes to what we can do with our actual physiology, we when it comes to selling and sailing, which are very similar, we can set our sails, but we can't control the wind or a low appraisal. We can control our reaction, but we can't control the weather. We can breathe, but we can't control other boaters, other sailors. So it's all about knowing what you can control and what you can't control, and asking yourself, is this within my control? And did I do all that I can do to control the situation? And if you can't, you do your best and you give the rest to God. I do have a great story about when I was in a situation where I had two decisions, like how I could handle it, and I chose to, I realized there was a few things that were out of my control. I couldn't control it, but so I sat in the situation. A lot of times with the can and can't control, it's all about being, sometimes you have to be patient and creative. So I was in a situation in college. It's actually one of my favorite stories, where I call it Professor Dickwad. This was a history teacher of mine, and I was commuting to King, and it was my last year, and it was a tough time. The class was a tough time. I was getting out of work at a certain time, which I couldn't get out early, and I had to get up to Kane, which was during rush hour and rush hour. So I was trying to get to a history class where the teacher was a ex-Marine, an ex-Marine teacher, professor, who just didn't like me out the gate, or I couldn't help that I'm late. And if you know Marines, they don't like when you're late. So first time I was late, he kind of was a jerk. Second time, bigger jerk. Next time, maybe sit outside in the hallway for a little while. And would always act like, this was a big problem for him. I was being rude and all this other stuff. I wouldn't have minded that because he was right. If he didn't allow females to walk in, after he had already disciplined me for being late or yelled at me for being late and say nothing to him. So in this situation, I was feeling like he was a bit of a hater towards me. So I kind of thought about what I could do. I couldn't control, that he was a sexist dick. I couldn't control the traffic or the weather or the parking lot. I just, it was the time of the class, I had to work that day. But I could control my reaction. I could wait for an opportunity. I could and can be patient, and I can be very creative. So a few weeks after this happened, a few times, I made my best attempts to get there early, or at least on time. Because I knew that in a few weeks towards the end of the semester, that we were going to visit the Vietnam Memorial in Homedale, New Jersey, which was a town next door to where I live, and literally the same zip code that the PetSmart I worked in. So I knew in that situation, I was going to be able to control getting there on time, control taking the day off if I wanted to. There was a lot of things now that I could control in this situation. So I sort of smiled and got through the next couple weeks. And then the week came where it was time to go to the class trip. Well, you better believe the fact that I could be on time or be early was executed. I was there a half hour early, and I made sure that I was the first one there. And as I watched everybody arrive to the memorial, guess who was late? Professor Dickwad was late to the class trip, which you kind of knew he would be because it's the same commute reverse. So I just stood there with a big smile on my face, and I asked Professor Dickwad if I could talk to him for a minute as he strolled in late. And I just said, Professor Dickwad, us classmates have been waiting here for you for a while. It's very, very rude that you're making us all wait. And he just kind of smiled and said, well done. He got it. So it's not really a real estate story, but there's plenty of stories like that in real estate and in life where, you just have to realize what you can control and what you can't control, and choose wisely, and do your best. Is this within my control? Did I do all that I can do? And after that, man, you just gotta, once you've done everything inside of you, inside your universe, you just gotta maybe give it up to the universe and see how it works out. So do your best and give God the rest, or whatever you believe in. But that's my little variation on controllables and can't-trollables. It's important to know the difference.